Hey, how's it going? Today's video is basically on how people give and they give in front of others to make a show of it, to basically point the glory, if you will, point the adulation and point all of the credit to them. And even if you're giving, God always says to give, which is what I subscribe to. I can't stand when I see people giving in front of others, like making a show of it, like inviting the cameras down to let them see how great they are, like giving an envelope or just, I saw once, just as a clip, some pastor went on a show. Of course, they had to say action and take, so you knew exactly what he was doing, but he gave an envelope for like a orphanage or some good thing to the other pastor on the show, who was the host of the show. I just want to give you this in front of like the cameras, and here's 10,000, whatever it was, to help out with your. I can't stand that. If you really meant, I mean, if you really, okay, the kids are getting, if that's true, if the kids are getting the money, great, and that will help if that was an orphanage or whatever it was. But you could have done that off camera. I mean, the point of that is you presented that in front of however many people were watching. Oh, isn't he good? Isn't he great? I can't stand that. I'm going to read you a couple verses to show that God agrees with me. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, but that I subscribe to God's, obviously his thoughts on that, his thoughts, his views, his what he says, because God doesn't like it either, and that's what I subscribe to. I try to, and I just even before I read that, I remember even young not liking when people made a show of how good they were or how good they tried to present themselves as. So this is. I'm reading from my notes. This is Matthew 6:1-4. Be careful not to practice your righteousness in front of others to be seen by them. If you do, you will have no reward from your Father in heaven. So when you give to the needy, do not announce it with trumpets as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and on the streets to be honored by others. Truly, I tell you, they have received their reward in full. But when you give to the needy, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, so that your giving may be in secret. Then your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you. That's straight to the point, direct, and hits very hard, and hard in a good way, because he's basically saying, yeah, don't give in front of people, don't make a show of it, because if you're giving to the homeless, or if you're giving to the coats or anything like that, look, something may slip and someone might say, you're in a conversation, you might say, oh yeah, I gave money to someone once. I don't mean that if you're in a conversation, but even that to a degree. I mean, you don't want to overdo it. Like if you keep touting yourself as the one who's doing it, as opposed to God through you helping people, that's a problem, because I've seen a lot of Christians do that. And as a Christian, give glory to God, because that's where the glory should be. Give it to who is helping you, or letting you do that for these people, and giving to the poor through you. So when you make a show of it, you're letting people know in a group. If you're at a party, I gave money to a homeless person, I did this, I fed people, I gave $10,000, I gave 1,000, I gave 50, whatever. I help people do this, and I'm so good. Just don't do that, because you look like a moron. You just do. And I guarantee you most people are thinking, probably, and it doesn't matter what people think, but I'm just saying, other Christians probably would be like, yeah, okay, who know what God's viewpoint is on it, are kind of like, yeah, okay, you might calm down there, Magoo. Just calm down there with your, touting yourself, I'm so great kind of thing. Always do it in secret, and I'm saying this now just to draw a point. I'm not saying I gave one. I mean, there was one point in my life that I gave something like, I don't want to see. This is where you catch yourself, because I give a lot. I've given a lot in my life. I'm pointing out one instance online, and I didn't want to put my name, and I didn't put my name. I put, I made it anonymous, and again, that's not patting myself on the back. I'm just saying I even was feeling odd about putting my name, like saying, yeah, Sean Fontaine gave this money, or I didn't like that. I wanted it to be anonymous, and I've always tried to do that. Just try to not let people, know what you're doing, if you're giving or if you're helping someone, if you help someone, because God sees it, and I completely subscribe to God will reward you for that. You don't do it for Him to reward you, but I subscribe to the point of let Him reward you if He chooses to, because that's where it's coming from. You have the ability to do that because of Him. So yeah, I wanted to make a video on that, because I've seen some things lately into just like people making a show of, again, let's invite the press down to show how great I am. Here's a car for this person. Here's a Maserati for the homeless guy who's looking at you like you're completely crazy. It's like, I just wanted a sandwich, dude. I didn't need a Maserati, but I'm glad to see so many people here showing you giving me a Maserati. Is there a sandwich in the front seat? Stuff like that. I mean, even some of the stuff that these people give, even like these overly rich people who aren't necessarily Christian, even that, I mean, it's just, you look stupid, and God will bless you for doing things anonymously. Keep it in secret, and He knows what you're doing. So there you go. I see things sometimes, like things like if I'll see on like YouTube or other videos, or just I'll come across things like that, and it'll remind me to like make a video, even though I have notes on this. This is something I wanted to broach anyway, but I have been seeing this lately too, more so, like, and it's like I need to get that video rolling, just because it needs to be pointed out to do things in secret, and don't let people know what you're doing, what the left hand is doing. Do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, and that's the best way to do that. Okay, I'm out. Always go with Jesus.